Hi, everyone. Congratulations on being the WISE class of 2020. 4 years ago, I remember being so excited to meet all of you at our WISE orientation. I also remember thinking around the same time, what a great year it'll be to graduate college in 2020. We all know that 2019 and 2021 don't have the same ring to it as 2020 does. This graduating class will forever have an asterisk next to it for our strength and solidarity as we continue our education or enter the job market in one of history's most tumultuous times. But today I'd like to speak on what it is that these times have meant for students who have chosen to dedicate their lives to STEM. A lot of us turned to biology and science and engineering when we were too young and terrified and probably hated ourselves a little too much to want to do anything else. And it's likely that we're still too young and scared. To me, signing up for medicine meant signing up for surrender, to be told what to do, and frankly, to escape being me. The last few months have forced me to come to terms with who I am when that escape doesn't exist. When I couldn't scramble together a research paper to submit at 11:59 p.m. and equate that with success. When digging through the dirt at Stoller to collect isopods for a sliver of extra credit in Bio 204 would only now be seen as absolute lunacy. Or when walking across campus from physics to life sciences for Mary Bernero's WISE 242 class in 7 minutes was no longer a possibility to keep myself distracted from the real world. After all, what is an A in physics worth when the scale of deaths and grief and fear happening around us is too large to even comprehend? This year and this milestone represent a myriad of lessons and memories for each of us. But perhaps the most important of them all is that this is an expiration date on any of our excuses for accepting the world's problems as they are. It has become abundantly clear that if the world of biology and science and engineering keeps telling us what to do, as many of us hoped it would, then we stand to further exacerbate the systemic racism and health disparities that cause this devastatingly large amounts of deaths and grief and fear to begin with. The world's many ills cry out for solutions, and that is exactly why we can't use science to escape ourselves. Those solutions involve bringing the core of our beings to the table so that when our families and neighbors go to the hospital, they can see themselves in the doctors and nurses and physician assistants that are treating them. It is then that they know that they have someone who will fight for them, someone who understands that their chest pain is not an overreaction, but a possible critical indicator for heart disease, or that their shortness of breath during postpartum is not imagined, but symptoms of grave pregnancy-related complications. They need to know that the researchers and engineers who are creating the drugs and technology for them to survive are keeping their health needs in mind. And now, more than ever, we see how public health infiltrates every corner of our lives. Surrendering to science was never an option, because it was never only about us. Graduating here with a degree in STEM is a wish upon a star for an immeasurable number of people. We have been bestowed a high privilege in the form of education, and if it's not us who has been called to help solve these problems, then who? The world's list of challenges has become increasingly daunting in the last few months, but we enter the world uniquely poised to meet them. We owe so much to a society that has allowed us to be here today in whatever form that may be. That gratitude must fire us as we leave Stony Brook University and begin the rest of our lives dedicated not only to the sciences, but also to those whom we owe our debts.